Goodness me, that left hook to the chin towards the end of the round would have knocked a lot of people out. Look at the success rate, 67%. That's unheard of.
It is. I mean, he's good all the time. We've always been very impressed, but he's so impressive tonight. He really is on fire in there. You know, there's very little missing. The shots thrown from great variety, good angles, and he's not wasting anything. Inside, excellent punches. There's the right uppercut. You know, really did throw a good shot. Pressure keeps going on Krivolopov, and he's mixing it up well. You know, the punches come from all sorts of sides. I think that's what he needs to break this Russian down.
Well, that was the one, that left hook. That really did land flush. The Times did a feature on Hatton this week, described him as Barry McGuigan on Benzedrine. Here's the third round. Hatton, sky blue and black with the tassels. And he really looks as if he wants to get the business done quickly. Left hook, and that made Krivolopov stagger back a couple of yards. Once again, Hatton looking like a man who is a world-class operator.
Well, Krivolopov is durable, but he's going to have to be. Just on the sag, you get the feeling this is hard. He's having to fight at a heavy pace with lots of good punches coming in at him.
Went for it with the right hand. The Russian Hatton a bit wild there. But Krivolopov has already taken some very, very solid, powerful shots. Shown his durability. Breathing a bit heavily, the Russian now.
Krivolopov trying with that right uppercut, just not landing right. Hatton still this relentless pressure.
Oh, left uppercut. Wonderful shot from Hatton again. He soaks it up like blotting paper, this Russian. Mickey Van nearly had to take a right hand himself there.
Well, he's glad he didn't have to take it, I'm sure.
Good little right cross in there from Krivolopov. And the body shot too.
Krivolopov is starting to sag a bit. You know, he just can't get out of the way. He just can't stop these punches.
Terrific right hand as well from Hatton. It's just unrelenting pressure, isn't it? He's on top of you all the time.
It's the sort of pressure that just sickens you, Ian. You just can't put up with it. It's just, you know, in time it's going to wear you down.
And he's making his opponents fight 3 minutes of every round, because that's what he's doing. Oh, he was looking for a haymaker there that might have knocked Krivolopov out into Manchester Piccadilly. You'd never known he's had a troubled build-up, would you?
You wouldn't. I mean, if anything, it looks like it's fired him up more, because you know, he really is in the mood for it here. You know, he never shows a lot of emotion, but that face is just completely blank. He's just going through with his work. Good shots like that uppercut, then the left hook.
I'm still wondering how a bloke who's so nice out of the ring can be so vicious and spiteful in it, because he really is. Just a little problem with one of the advertising hoardings we get from time to time. This is a favourite round for Hatton to finish off opponents. He's done it on 7 occasions. Hatton, by the way, 27-0 going into this one, 22 by knockout. It's been 16 months since anyone took him the distance. That was John Thaxton.
He's walking under that jab from Krivolopov.
You've got to give Krivolopov pressure. He's had to take a lot, but he still appears to retain some ambition in the fight. But what has he got to hurt Hatton?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think the only way he can really get to Hatton is if he manages these sharp punches to cut him. That's the only way he can do some damage, I think. He hasn't really got the firepower.
Krivolopov having to fight on the back foot nearly all the time, and usually he's a come-forward type himself. Just hasn't been able to employ anything other than reverse gear most of the way.
He did land a choppy little right hand in there, Krivolopov.
Heads coming together now. Hatton's got to watch that because of his vulnerability to cuts. It hasn't happened too much lately, but he has had surgery in the past after the John Thaxton fight, when he had to go the whole way with a bad gash.
Still just loading up a bit too much in this round. Krivolopov getting some nice little shots in on the counter.
There was a good countering rate from him. Now this is probably what Hatton needs to just go a few rounds. It's good stuff here from Krivolopov, just turning the tables and putting Hatton under pressure and having him on the ropes. How many times have we ever seen that?
Well, this is good for Hatton. This is what we need to see. We need to see what he's like under pressure, how he comes back, what he's like when he's hit with a shot.
I'm sure that's what Krivolopov is thinking. His boxing brain will be telling him, if only I could put this fellow on the back foot, he might not be so good. But here Hatton's got him going again. Just listen to the crowd here, half of them on their feet. Great right hand counter from Krivolopov again there. He's done some good work in this round.
He has, both of them landed with good right hands. This is a closer round. Krivolopov had some good touches in there.
Krivolopov, who owns a small grocery shop in Siberia. I suppose they do a nice line in salt, Glenn.
Well, he's done some good work in the last round. That was better. I give him a share of the round. Turned Hatton well in this exchange. She showed a bit of fire. She showed, although he started well in the last two rounds, he's not over with yet.
Fifth round. It's proving to be just the kind of test I think Hatton needs at this stage. Hatton calls himself the hitman, just as the great Thomas Hearns did. Well, Hatton's not got to that stage yet, not by a long chalk. But he's been a hitman all right so far in his career. Beautiful, a lovely left hook to the body.
That was a really good combination, Ian. Impressive stuff. Starting this round, Hatton.
He's going for it a bit here. I think he felt that Krivolopov landed a few too many in that last round, and he's really looking to re-establish himself in this round, Hatton.
Well, I'm sure Billy Graham in the corner said, you know, don't let this kid get into the fight, don't let him start getting some confidence, because he could be tough. So he needs to press on hard in this round.
So far, so good on the cuts front for Hatton, though the left thigh is just looking a shade swollen. The crowd have got a bit more thoughtful. This is stern resistance from the Russian. Hatton has only once ever had to go beyond 6 rounds.
Another nice left hook to the body, and I think the body shots he's got to try and get a few more on. That could be where Krivolopov falls apart.
But he isn't yet. But you do feel that there must be some sort of cumulative effect from this kind of pressure. But this fellow's a hard man, isn't he?
Well, you've got to be pretty hard living out there in Siberia.
Good left hook, landed to the head this time from Hatton. They thought they might have to go to the head a bit more in this fight, because Krivolopov does keep his ribs quite well protected normally. And I think Hatton has got in with less body shots in this contest than almost any other I can remember.
Yes, that's right. At times, sometimes I think he's loading up a little bit too much, Hatton.
Yes, there's always the danger of too much belief in power. There comes a point in any fighter's career where he needs plan B to mix in skills as well. Of course, it's how Nassim Hamed came a cropper against Ferreira. When he couldn't knock him out, he never looked like winning on points.
Well, he's always shown very good technical ability.
There's another round in the bank for Hatton. He's outworking this Russian.
Rugby Union for you next weekend. England against Ireland live from Twickenham. 2 o'clock, Sky Sports 2, and interactive on Sky Sports Extra. Here tonight in Manchester, not quite uncharted territory for Rikki Hаттton, but he's having to work. Glenn and Ian.
It's a good test, this, for Hatton. Here he goes into round 6, a distance he's only ever been 4 times before. Starting to really dig his toes into the canvas to land those hooks, Hatton. Such an exciting style.
Yes, he's got a real rhythm to his style, and I think that's why, you know, he's getting so popular. He's very good to watch. And it's always good action when he's in there, because, you know, he's not going to stand up. He's always pressing onto his man.
Krivolopov threw noticeably fewer punches, I thought, in that last round. He was caught by that left to the body there. That's hurt him a little. And then a right to the temple. Now, is Hatton beginning to get this job done with these body punches? That left hook earlier in the round took plenty out of Krivolopov, I felt.
Watch your head.
Well, he's a cagey character, but Hatton's still got to keep them punches going in.
Yes, another left to the body. Krivolopov sagged a bit. Halfway through the round, the crowd sensing that maybe, just maybe, the Russian might be ready to go.
Decent uppercut in there from Krivolopov. He's still finding some shots himself.
Bit wild with the jab and inaccurate Hatton there. Well, a lot of people thought this might be Rikki Hatton's toughest test, and there's another little countering right from Krivolopov, who's got good fast hands.
Well, in fairness, Ian, he needs this sort of fight if he's going to go in with Costa Sioux, fighters like that. He needs these type of fights.
Oh, another wicked hook to the body. That's the punch that does for so many of his opponents. It knocks just about everything out of him. Fighters don't want to keep on taking those sort of shots, no matter how tough they are. They are sickeners. And he slips. Almost slipped right out of the ring there, Krivolopov. That was almost like the local ice rink.
Well, that might just have upset Krivolopov a little bit. Certainly that would push Hatton on.
Hatton still can't quite find the combination that might end the fight, and Krivolopov gets through another round. And all in all, he'd rather be in the grocery store, I think.
Well, I think he would, but he's shown himself to be pretty tough. There's the body shots. 44 for Hatton, 24 for Krivolopov. Hatton so good in that round with the body punch on both sides, and you just got the first sense in the fight that he was starting to wear him down with those punches. Mixing it up, look at the variety. Head and body, switching left and right. That was a good one. You see there, that took a bit out of him. He took a couple of paces back, just to get that breath. Elbow comes in, and you know that one's hurt.
But he got through it. Tough man. He's a married man with a son, Krivolopov, and he does have a couple of good wins over David Umar and Harrison Matula, who went 7 rounds with Eamon McGee. Into the second half of the fight. Hatton's only done that once before. That was against John Thaxton. But I think this is what it's going to be like in the big league for Hatton. He will have to go longer distances. Top elite Premiership fighters have got good chins and good durability.
Oh, that's without doubt. You know, Hatton's been coming along very well indeed, but you know, he's still the very, very tough guys. He hasn't been in with them yet, so he needs this. He needs this sort of fight to prepare him for that.
But I think the Americans will still like what they're seeing from Hatton. This almost kind of Manchester Mexican type of style he has. He misses there, and Krivolopov made him pay with a little counter shot.
Well, that was a little bit careless. He wound up the punch too much, and Krivolopov made him pay a little bit. Maybe a sign that Hatton getting a bit frustrated and not putting his man away by now.
Oh, this time the right cross from Hatton.
Well, you'd think these heavy punches have got to start taking an effect.
3. Krivolopov gets his gloves up still, wants to throw back. Referee nearly fell over there. And Krivolopov gets him with a good-looking right uppercut of his own. Oh, good stuff again from Hatton. Head and body shots. Krivolopov sags towards the far side of the ring. What is this fellow made of, Glenn?
Well, you've got to say, how game, how courageous and tough is this Russian? Krivolopov really is. You know, he's a tough character.
And earning every single penny that Frank Warren is paying him tonight. Again, Hatton left himself open to a right hand. His left glove was down. He'll have to watch that at higher levels.
Well, this is a pretty high level. He's obviously getting a bit tired himself, a bit frustrated and not putting him away. He's starting to take a few more chances, Hatton.
No real power, Krivolopov. It's one of his problems. If he had a bit more of that, it would make Hatton think a bit more on the way in. Still good work, though, from the Russian, in between these seemingly ceaseless assaults from the Manchester hero. Let's have a look at the world light welterweight scene. Kostasiu is the undoubted king of the division. Everybody accepts that. Demarcus Corley's a good fighter, the WBO champion. He could be a target too, possibly. Then you've got the less highly regarded titles, and Hatton holds one of those. Eamon McGee on this bill tonight could be Hatton's next opponent. First, he's got to win this.
Yeah, and this is the tough one. Krivolopov shown himself to be very, very durable, very proud. Good left hook having to take, and just taking a few more risks with his punches. I think he feels that Krivolopov is not far from being beaten, but he still has got to keep careful, you know, because it only takes a couple of shots to open up a nasty cut.
Round 8, and both Glenn and I feel that the long distance fight and the nature of it, even though Hatton is winning the rounds, is probably exactly what he needs at this stage. IOC, the most respected of the governing bodies, do have this Russian at number 4. Oh! A little apology for any of you at home. I understand some of you might have lost sound and vision for a few moments. Glad you're back with us.
Well, it's a round when Krivolopov is doing a lot more. He's caught Hatton with some good shots.
And still Hatton can't break his will. Really let go with these left hooks. What more have I got to do? Hatton must be thinking. Well, the answer is a bit more yet. Krivolopov punched the air as he went back to the corner.
Well, he's got his pride. He's thinking, you know, this guy's hitting me with everything, and he's getting through it.
Ball, because of where he holds his hands, you know what I'm saying? He's taking his sides well. You're not stepping around, just try to head, punch tight, just touch him, step round bam. You have to do that. You've got to do it. And then you'll get him close to the body. You're on his head side. I don't think you're going to knock this fucking out today.
Billy Graham, the preacher man, the trainer. That's what the look at that success rate. Still just about half his punches finding the target. And if you think at home, if you're just watching Hatton for the first time, well, that doesn't seem many. Believe me, in boxing, that's huge, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a very, very good success rate. He isn't missing with a lot. When you know how good Hatton does punch, you've got to respect Krivolopov for how durable he is.
9th round. And still, Mikhail Krivolopov is spitting out defiance. You can only admire.
Well, it was good to watch Hatton covering up inside there, just when Krivolopov trying to get his combinations going. Hatton using his defence.
Lovely left hook to the body again from Hatton. How many times you say that? But caught by a right hand and has to cover up. Hatton, I fancy he just felt the weight of that for a moment. Looked a good shot from Krivolopov.
Well, I think he just covered up because there was the cluster coming in, and don't try and fight back in case you leave yourself open.
Well, if he was hurt, it certainly wasn't for long. Lovely uppercut. Hatton again. He really does get some leverage, doesn't he, into these punches. That's where the power comes from.
Yeah, it comes right from the feet. You know, he sets himself. He's got that bounce, that spring in the legs.
Uppercut again. Oh, a right uppercut. And the jab. Krivolopov once again looks a bit drained for a moment, as well he might. I'm not quite sure how he's still there, but he is.
Well, I mean, there's been constant action here. The punches have gone in throughout. These guys have got to be starting to tire now.
Come on, Rikki, is the chant around the men arena here. Can only imagine the atmosphere if they went to Manchester City's ground at Main Road. He looks tired now, Krivolopov. He suddenly looked tired as he walked into the centre of the ring. He kind of staggered. I'm not sure he's got a lot left here. Hatton is beginning to tell. Right hand. Oh, he's looking at the referee, and then he says, come on in, to Hatton, who says, OK, I will then.
Well, that was silly from Krivolopov. He's falling around. I think he's ready, Ian.
He's ready to go, I think. Nicky Van, the referee, taking a closer look at Krivolopov. He stopped it! He stopped it! In the 9th round! And Ricky Hatton spits out his gum shield, punches the air. His parents celebrate. And, well, has cost a shoe. Heard of him now.
I'm sure he has. A great performance, constant pressure, finally paid dividends. He never let up. That's what the Manchester fans and the British fans, and I'm sure the American fans, will now like about Ricky Hatton. His persistence, his relentlessness, and that was a great performance. Never been stopped before, Krivolopov, and he stopped him, and stopped him in style.
Yes, it's worth putting it into that context. The first time the Russian's been stopped in 37 fights, and he's done something that Oktay Erkal, world-rated, respected fighter, German-based Turk, couldn't do. So that just tells you that what happened has got. Why did it take 9 rounds? Frankly, because Krivolopov was so very, very courageous and strong and durable.
Yep, you've got to take your hat off to Krivolopov. Really, really worked well. You can see why he's never been stopped from. It was tough and tenacious work for him, but for Hatton, that was exactly what he needed. Exactly. He couldn't ask for a better script. He went in, got the rounds, and there's a little hug for his biggest fan.
Yeah, James Bowers. Hug for Mum. They know what the family have been through recently with the death of Mum Carroll's brother John and Ricky's uncle, and he's dedicating the fight to him. I think he's got his name somewhere on the shorts tonight. All over in round 9. This is how.
That's where you just sensed he was ready for the turn. He just sagged, he just turned away. Hatton realised that. Got straight on him. There's his silly little wave. I'm not sure that was the last act of bravado, I think.
I don't think it was silly. This is a brave, brave man who's psychologically saying, I can take all this, I can do it.
Well, he couldn't, so I think it was silly. He would have done better to keep his hands up. An act of bravado from a strong man.
Well, I can't criticise Krivolopov tonight. I thought he was fantastic.
He was. I mean, I think it really showed how good Hatton is. The fact, this guy was strong and kept up and kept trying to fight back. When Hatton, just relentlessly broke him down and broke his will.
Good stuff for not only the British audience, but a peak-time American audience too tonight. But I just wonder, now will they say, come on, we want to see him with one of the guys we know in the States. Now what about somebody like, good name, who may be fading these days, somebody like a Teron Millett, former world champion, Jesse James Lehar is now a light welterweight. Good opponents down the road. I know Frank Warren's going to accuse us of doing his matchmaking again, but he'll have to put up with it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, this was a good fight. The guy ranked high, never been stopped. Hatton stopped him, so he's doing everything that's asked of him. Yes, we want to see him in with a big name. Yes, we want to see him in Costa-Sue, but this was the right sort of fight to learn.
Next might be Eamon McGee, though, the Commonwealth champion, who's won in spectacular style himself on this bill tonight. What an occasion, fantastic atmosphere, and Hatton delivers again.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes, 31 seconds in round number 9. Our referee in charge, Mickey Van, stops the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout. He is still undefeated and still the WBU light welterweight champion, Ricki the Hitman Hаттон.
Will this be remembered as the making of Ricki Hаттon tonight? We'll hear from him next. Also the thoughts of Jim Watt and Barry McGuigan after the break. Ricki Hаттon was relentless here tonight and had to be. He's talking to Adam Smith.
Ricki, marvellous performance for your 28th straight win. Relentless pressure, but my word, it was tough. He had some chin, didn't he?
Well, that's the Russians for you, he took a hell of a lot of shots, and I went for him in the first few rounds and saw how durable he was, and I thought, well, I'm just going to have to ease back, give him enough ropes to hang himself type thing. He was using up a lot of energy moving around the outside of the ring, and for a couple of rounds I was just conserving and letting him work and, just break him up as the rounds went on.
You've blown so many opponents away, but is this what you needed tonight, rounds against a tough operator?
Absolutely. I mean, the longer it went, the more I thought, well, he's maybe not going to go, but it would take a good and, to stay with that amount of work rate and pressure and volume of punches. The only thing I did wrong was I was a little bit careless sometimes and stood straight in front of him, but I mean, that's only to be expected when in my last few fights I've gone no more than 4 rounds, I think, so that's the best, that's what I needed, and I think my next fight will be better because of that.
Frank Warren, perfect match tonight?
Yeah, I knew the Russian was always going to be tough. I said from the beginning it'd be the toughest fight that Ricky's had, and he just done so well. I mean, the guy came to fight, he was strong, he didn't want to give up, and at the end Ricki wore him down with his work rate and his punching power.
Eamon McGee, April, quick answer, Frank?
We're going to talk.
Our commentary team at ringside tonight, it's Reg Guttridge and Jim Watt, and first our master of ceremonies, Mike Goodall.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome viewers live and exclusive to Championship Boxing on Sky Sports at Everton Park Leisure Centre in Liverpool, where Frank Warren, in association with Stephen Vaughan, proudly presents Championship Boxing. We begin our coverage this evening with a contest over 8 3-minute rounds in the light welterweight division. And firstly, introducing in the red corner, wearing the white trunks with the red trim, fighting out of Birmingham. He has had 18 fights as a professional, 7 wins, 6 wins by way of KO, with 9 losses and 2 draws. He weighed in at 10 stone, 1.5 pounds. Please welcome Paul Denton. And his opponent across the ring in the blue corner, wearing the blue and the gold trunks, fighting out of the Phoenix camp in Manchester. He is undefeated as a professional, 9 wins from 9 contests, 6 wins by way of knockout. He weighed in at 10 stone, 1.75 pounds. A welcome for Richard, the Hitman Hutton. Your officials appointed by the Central Area Council of the British Boxing Board of Control, the timekeeper, Mr. Colin Roberts, the referee, Mr. Keith Garner, and this is 8 3-minute rounds.
Well, the usual staring in there, as the referee, they're not really listening to him. I suspect they've been all through it before. This is really one of the genuine hot prospects of the game, actually, I think, Rikki Hаттon, at 20 years old, won 9 on the spin, and gave up being a good soccer prospect, we understand, at Manchester City in the School of Excellence back in '90 to become a boxer. And so far he's done it in style. His last fight was Atlantic City. He won in the first round. Previously appeared at Madison Square Garden.
Denton just landed a lovely leading right uppercut there, right onto Hatton's chin there, right up through the guard.
Let's put a dent on in his chin, Jimmy, want me to say, don't you?
Well, if I had to choose the most exciting young fighter in the country at the moment, I would go for this fellow here, Hatton. Everything just coming along nicely. Getting better every time out. Probably not a fighter I would want to rush because he still has some work to do in his defence. But what a good looking little fighter he is.
Yeah, he's with the Frank Warren stable and trainer Billy Graham out of Manchester. Sensible lad, but I understand. I've chatted him myself as well. But Paul Denton knows his way around from Birmingham. Trouble is, he might be a little bit shell-shocked. He lost his last time out in 1 round to Neil Sinclair in Dublin, Denton. But as you say, Jim, you know, catching Hatton early on with a very respectable punch indeed.
Yeah, but he's just missed his whisker with a nice left uppercut there. No, Denton's a decent test, so Hatton just wants to take his time. Just don't do anything silly. Don't be too eager to please. That's maybe one of his faults, if you like. He's just a little bit eager to please. In a hurry to get the job over with. Just settle down.
We watched him do a spectacular job in Germany, didn't we, Jim? Rikki Hаттon in 2 rounds. So he really has been around. He was as an amateur as well to get the experience. He as far away as Havana.
But this is a better match, Reg, than the German one, obviously. I mean, Denton, good solid pro. I mean, this is the kind of fight you want for Hatton now. Just nudge him along gently.
Oh, he picked that shot beautifully there with a left hook to the body. Light welterweight division. So there is the trainer from Salford, And let's have another look, Jim. You see, he picks these punches. Well, up there it comes, bingo, right between the guard.
Yeah, let's go some nice punches. Denton not guilty of holding up close, so that's given Hatton a bit more time and a bit more room to work. I think as the fight progresses, Denton might start grabbing hold up close.
Denton's got the wise old owl Brendan Ingle in his corner, and well, he'll need all his wisdom between rounds because he's up against it here. But as you say, just got extra experience. 28 years old anyway. He's been in with class. I mean, he fought in South Africa against that boxer Shapers, who boxed Shane Neary here in Liverpool. Well, that was a good performance.
Denton just beginning to spoil a bit now, Reg. I mean, in the first round he wasn't guilty of this, but starting now just to make it a bit untidy.
Well, with Denton, Jim, and I'm not always basing everything on records, it's a long time since he's had a win. And this is the last guy in the world. See, I like the way he steps aside like that and then lets a punch go, Hatton.
Well, full credit to Hatton there, because Denton was clinging on for dear life, but he managed to shake him off and get some punches off. Most fighters would just have waited for the referee to break, but Hatton shook him off and got some punches home. Nice bit of technique there from Hatton.
Yes, he was pulling back from that all right, Denton, but he still caught for a little bit of the glove.
I say, just wants to drop down a gear at the moment, Hatton. Just stay on top of Denton, just find the target. Don't just blast through defences. Just pick the target.
He's going to concentrate on getting to his head cupped in there between his gloves now, Denton, like that. You see the time block him coming in, and he needs all the help he can get.
I mean, it's lovely to see he gets punches out, Reg, when there's really no room to get punches out. Hatton improving every time I see him.
Wonderful experience for him, Jim. Atlantic City, New York, Madison Square Garden, still really the mecca as far as American boxing goes. Gives a young fighter a lot of confidence, you see.
See there again, Denton spoiling, but Hatton doesn't get involved, just makes a little bit of room, steps back and gets some punches out. Considering he's only a kid, Reg, he's coming along nicely.
He boxed in the World Juniors, Jim, got a bronze in Havana back in '97.
Blood, Reg, in the eye, that's
yes.
The last thing he wants. This early in the fight.
Yes. Now that spurred Denton on there, he spotted that all right. That's really running down his cheek there. It looks as though it was in the corner of the eye as well.
They've both been a little bit guilty with their heads up close. So I think maybe a change of plan now.
Yeah, well, certainly Billy Graham's got to get working quickly on that, and he is. Now, I wonder how bad that is. Well, I mean, obviously it's not going to get better during a contest, we know that, but then you've got the skill of the seconds with his adrenaline. It's the only and it may have been a head clash. It often is, unintentional perhaps.
Well, heads have been banging all the way through.
Yeah,
Reg.
it could be there.
Yep. Well, I mean, it could have been half a dozen times. That's possible, but it could have been any half a dozen little clashes that were taking place. Denton, the culprit, you know, the spoiling tactics. He's come out on top result-wise.
I'm not sure. I think, is that the first time he's been cut in a contest? I'm sure it is, Rikki Hаттton. He's certainly never been taken account, and he scored 13 knockdowns along the way. Well, he's got to fight his way through the cuts and bruises. You all have to, you fellas, Jim, don't you? Third round then. Scheduled 8 at the light welter division. 10 stoners. Now let's see how that injury to Rikki Hatton's left eye stands up. Well, he can get this fight over with quickly to stop it worsening.
Well, the only advice I would give is don't worsen it by rubbing heads together. Don't change your tactics. It's not a serious cut. Don't do anything differently. Don't go looking for a knockout, but don't carry on like this. or heads rubbing against it, going to worsen the injury.
Yeah, he kind of got his head lower than Denton's there. Did you notice that, Jim, under Denton's chin?
Yeah, but Hatton just wants to maybe to stand back a little bit if he can. Just not get quite so involved up close.
Yeah, watch your head, both boxers there, the referee. Oh, he unloaded there, just missed it with that long right hand too, Hatton. Oh dear, they really are rubbing heads unnecessarily here, and I'm surprised that Hatton's, well, not on his bike, that's not his style, but just a wee bit more careful.
I mean, he picks beautiful punches, Reg, up close and at long range. He shouldn't have got involved this early after a cut. And he just had some treatment in the corner, and the cut's bleeding again. We have a fairly experienced referee, so that's a plus. We wouldn't expect him to panic, but bleeding badly again.
Well, it'd be a shame if he loses his unbeaten record. Jim, it looks a fairly bad one to me.
I tell you, Hatton is even more guilty than Denton with the head here. Yeah, good referee in there, because Hatton, as he's always trying to get his own back there, he's going to inflict damage on himself. He wants to get his head out of there. That was a blatant butt from Hatton there. This is the range he should be working at. I mean, he's far sharper than Denton, he's better technique, but that's the range. When he gets up close, the heads are rubbing together. Just step back here and give yourself a little bit of room.
Yeah, a bit of daylight between them there they need.
I don't think the cut has worsened, Reg. I think it's just started bleeding again. Yeah. So I don't think the problem is any worse than it was, but it's Hatton's tactics here. He's taken too many chances with that injury.
So the referee had a good look at that corner work there. Let's have another look there. Oops, that really would worsen it, didn't it, that one? And this is the one, Jim, look, just bored his way in there.
Yeah, but it's more of a rub, I suppose, than an actual butt, but it was intentional, so the referee was right to pull him about that. I'd like to see Hatton just see what he can do with this fellow at long range for the first minute of this round. Just see if he can outbox him, if he can land the punches without taking any. Well, he's got some success straight away.
Looks like he's going for it. Maybe he's been warned in the corner. Come on, try and get this fight over with. It's an 8-round schedule. It's only the 4th now.
Well, no signs, Reg, in the first 3 rounds that Denton was ready to be stopped. So a little bit more care would have impressed me. That's the head again, both dangerous. I'd like to see him step back here and give himself some room and get that injury out of harm's way. Yep, 2 of them very guilty.
Yeah, both of you, I say. Keith Garner. Oh, solid shots right on the point there. He's taking those well, Denton.
I wouldn't complain about this kind of action for Hatton if he wasn't cut, Reg. It's the fact that he's cut. He really should be cleaning up his act a little bit. I mean, he's boxing well, he's throwing good punches, he's doing everything you want him to do, but not with a cut. I think that was our final warning we just heard there, Reg. For the kind of all-round dirty tactics, if you like.
Yeah, that surprised me, really. I didn't think the old Simon Pure ranks that he's learnt those things, but certainly found out what the pro game's all about. A bit too harsh for him.
I just think he's letting his heart rule his head here. He wants to get Denton out of there. He's annoyed, he's cut, he knows he's in danger of losing, and he's reacted badly. He wants to keep cool and show some boxing skills here. Doesn't have to knock everybody out. A point is a win. Everybody would be happy with that.
untidy, but still plenty of action.
And no signs that injury is worsened, thankfully. That was lovely. Slipped the punch, back with the counter. Some nice little moves for a round or two. Get a couple of rounds in the bank. Just keep the eye out of trouble.
Yeah, they still haven't managed to get those coagulates to sort of seal it a little bit. That often happens actually in a contest.
There's that head again, Reg. He's taken a chance. He's been warned several times. He's not butting, he's just rubbing the forehead in.
So there's frantic work going on there, isn't there? There's the statistics of punches landed well, says it for itself, doesn't it? How many Hatton has really unloaded there, and a quick replay. Still working to the body as hard as he can there, Hatton. Fifth round coming up. And the Manchester prospect, and he certainly is a prospect, he may be taken to the wire if he's not careful by Paul Denton from Birmingham. As a matter of fact, he had a win, I remember, over Ross Hale, former champion on cuts back in '96, but he hasn't won since.
Denton not spoiling here, he's just covering up. A chance for Hatton to let some punches go. Now he's got to step back and give himself some room, get leverage into the punches.
Watch your head, Hatton. Watch your head. Stop boxing.
He could end up being disqualified, Reg. I mean, I don't know how many warnings, I've lost count. He's not butting, but he's rubbing his forehead in.
Yes.
Yes, a little trickle of blood again did going down Hatton's cheek there. Not actually interfering, I wouldn't have thought, with his sight at all. It's at the side.
I think as long as he stays in top, Reg, if this was a competitive fight, the referee would be more worried about it if it was an even match. But he is fairly in top, he's controlling things. So provided the injury doesn't worsen badly, he should be okay. Just set about his job and forget about the cut.
Nobody said Hatton just glanced at the referee. You know, now getting a bit concerned is the red card coming out, as it were. You know, he knows that he's in trouble, not only with the cut but with the warnings. Then, you know,
I mean, it's more mischief, Reg, isn't it? It's more mischief than
exactly.
Spite, if you like. He's not butting, he's just leaving his head in and rubbing it in Denton's face. So I'd be very surprised if he ends up disqualified, but still has to be careful. That was a good punch, good right hand. Yep, signs now, Denton struggling.
Well, below punching that one.
Time now to launch an attack.
The bowling chance, let him go.
Denton's punch is looking a little bit tired now, Reg.
Oh yeah.
A little bit weary, and a weary look about him.
He's soaked up enough. Oh, good right hand punch, that one. Solid.
Yep, I don't know that Denton has too much left, Reg.
Meaningful test for Rikki Hаттton. Back to Jim and Reg.
Well, it's like having the doctor in the corner there, isn't it? If the referee continues with these warnings, remember, oh, what a shot. He hasn't got I don't think he's going to worry about warnings after that. If he gets up, his legs will go on him, I think. Yeah, they have. He's going to stop it. Yeah, now that is a way a champion to be would finish a contest, isn't it? Struggling with an injury, all right. Not a really bad injury, I'm pleased to say, but under a little bit of fire at times with the referee quite rightly telling him to behave himself. And Rikki Hаттton pulled out the left hook, a pinch of a punch in boxing terms. Jim?
Yeah, well, obvious signs at the end of the 5th round that Denton didn't have very much left. So Hаттton obviously sensing this and just charged right out at the beginning of the 6th round, gave him no chance to get settled.
Straight out, bang.
Straight out, off the stool.
Straight off the ejector seat there it turned out, didn't it? Bingo.
I think Hаттton knew Denton had nothing much left to offer. He fairly exhausted in the previous round. Excellent result, especially, as I say, with an injury all the way through.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 19 seconds of round 6, the referee stops the contest. Paul Denton in no position to continue. The winner, Rikki Hаттton.
Gary Thornhill is top of the bill shortly here, defending his super featherweight's crown over 12 rounds against Steve Conway. Thornhill coming up shortly. But well done to Hаттton, and he's come through a bit of a test here tonight. We're going to take a look at him in the ring, I think, Barry, and just check that some of those bits of cut damage that he sustained there are okay.
Yeah, I thought he was. He laboured a bit tonight, made a heavy weather of it. But well, let's hear what he's got to say. He was very impressive ultimately with that final punch.
Well, a dramatic finish there, Rikki. You seem desperate to get him out of the way.
Yeah, it was a great fight, a great opponent. But I got cut in the fight very early on. It's the first time I've ever been cut in my career, and it's just something new, you know, for me to deal with as I'm getting experience through my career.
How did you cope with it?
Well, I tried just to lean my head on his chest, but lean on the right side, you know, to try and keep my that eye on, you know, try and keep this eye away from the shows. But the shots. But he's a very good opponent. He's very slippery. He's quite good inside, even though he's very tall.
It seemed though your heads came dangerously close a lot of times. You got some warnings.
Trying to keep him out of the way, like I say, trying to lean my head across to try and keep the eye away from that way. But I think it was maybe a clash of styles. You know, my head was going in, his head was going in. He was very good inside with his elbows, and, you know, really good opponent. I mean, he's fought some tremendous lads, so, and not many have knocked him out in that good a style, so I'm happy. I know I can do better. You know, I haven't even scraped the barrel. You know, I've got miles more to show, and I've got miles more to improve, as I'm still only 20 and 10 fights.
Rikki, what have you learned from 98?
Learned from 98 that the opponents are getting harder, so I have to rely on my boxing skills more than just me body shots, me out-and-out power, and tries to use me boxing. But it's the first time I've been cut in my career, and I was maybe, you know, a little bit, crimes, you know, panicking, and you know, maybe. But like I say, when it happens next time, you know, I'll be more prepared now. It's all learning for me.
Lovely, thanks a lot, Rikki. See you.
It's an important night and a first title opportunity for perhaps, arguably, the finest youngster that we've seen emerge in Britain over the past year or so. This fellow, Rikki Hаттton, the Manchester light welterweight, so he's almost on home territory here. 10 wins out of 10 for him so far. This might be his toughest job so far, though. Tommy Peacock from Liverpool in the other corner. Unbeaten, late starter in the pro ranks, but he's done very well so far. It is for the Central Area title. Noisy, partisan crowd, as I mentioned. It is a sellout here. Our commentary team at ringside, Ian Dark and Glenn McCrory. And our Master of Ceremonies is Mike Goodall.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to viewers live and exclusive on Sky Sports to Oldham Leisure Centre in Greater Manchester. In this, their 150th anniversary year, and a championship boxing promoted by Frank Warren. We begin our coverage this evening with a contest of 10 3-minute rounds for the vacant light welterweight championship of the Central Area. Between and introducing the boxers, firstly out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks trimmed with white. He hails from Liverpool and weighed in at 9 stone 13 pounds. He is unbeaten as a professional, having a 10 professional fight record, 9 wins, 3 wins by way of knockout, and 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tommy Peacock. And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, across the ring in the blue corner, he wears the turquoise and black trimmed with white. He weighed in at exactly 10 stone and holds a perfect professional record. 10 wins. timekeeper, Mr. Barry Pittner.
Clean contest, break when I tell you to break. Punch from the upper part of the closed club. The opponent gets knocked down, they go the furthest neutral corner, stay there until the box on. Shake hands now, commence the last round.
10 3-minute rounds for the lightweight championship of the
Well, this could be an absolutely cracking fight. I think it's the biggest test yet for Rikki Hаттton, because Tommy Peacock, like him, is also unbeaten. Only one draw to blemish his record, but no disgrace in that. It was against Anthony Campbell. Manchester against Liverpool here. Lots of fans for both fighters in a sold-out Oldham Sports Centre. And how does the much-hyped Hаттton cope with Peacock, who comes into this full of confidence himself?
This is the first time when he's really on an equal pegging. Before he's fought experienced guys who know the game. This time he's up against a young guy with as much intensity and desire as himself.
Which makes it very interesting. Plenty of punches getting in from both fighters in the opening half a minute or so. Hаттton in the sky blue trunks and a good body shot that just seemed to rock Peacock back on his heels there. He's sacked against the ropes. Hаттton needs no further invitation to close in and pour in more punches. Peacock was hurt by the body shot, no doubt about it.
Well, that's where he likes to be, Hаттton. He likes to be nice and close, where he can get his good punches on. He gets really good leverage and lots of power behind those short hooks.
Thunderous atmosphere here. Peacock really going for it in this opening round. Hаттton just having to cover up most of the time in his career so far, mainly against journeymen. He's been able to dictate the pace, and he's been the one coming forward. Might just see him under a little bit of pressure here and there in this contest. Good right to the body from Peacock. Peacock, who's 29, Hatton's only 20, but they've both had 10 fights apiece.
Well, he does look physically strong, Peacock. As you said, he's 29, he'll be mature. You'd imagine he'll be stronger than Hаттton, so Hаттton has to still be careful in close.
Good covering up by Hаттton with the gloves. The trademark body punches from Hаттton. Nearly everybody he fights is a bit taller than him, so the body attacks are natural for him. He really sets his feet to throw those shots. Good stiff jab as well from Hаттton, who's 20 but looks about 12. Even his mum agrees with that. Doesn't punch like he's 12 though.
Well, this is good work from Hаттton. He's prepared to stand in close, look to tug up, keep himself nice and cool, and then come back with super short little hooks inside.
Hаттton maybe just edging this opening round. Finishes it with one of those trademark body shots. Welcome back to Oldham. Rikki Hаттton, regarded by most of us as the best prospect at any weight in the country, doing well in the opening round here against the also unbeaten Tommy Peacock.
There's some good body punches there from Hаттton. I think he hurt Peacock with that little exchange there. He looks good when he's close in. He switches angles, gets the punches round the side, through the middle.
Second round of a 10-round contest. Neither of them have been beyond 6 so far. Black trunks, Liverpool's Tommy Peacock. Sky blue of Hаттton, who has to take pretty good right hand there from Peacock. Peacock with height and reach advantages, but not really using those. And look at the accuracy there of the combination punching from Hаттton.
Peacock came out this round to mean business. He's landing a few big body punches at Hаттton. Hаттton still prepared to stand in close, just try and get his elbows in.
Hаттon Hatton was the one of these two who was the amateur star. Peacock, no real impact in the ABAs, though he did win a bronze at a multi-nations event, boxing for England in Finland. But Hatton went all over the world. And we've got a little lull in the action here because laces have come undone on the right boot of Hatton. That may have happened to him in his former career as a schoolboy star footballer on Manchester City's books. I don't think it's ever happened to him as a fighter yet.
No, I don't think I can remember it happening, but that is something that does happen.
Really good fight here to get us underway here tonight. Hatton will be the favourite to be named as Young Boxer of the Year, I would think, by the boxing writers when they have their poll. But he has to win this one. Oh, it's a left hand, and he's got Peacock, who gets up rather too quickly with the count only at 3. Trouble for Peacock. Second round.
He just come out of that little clinch with his right hand down. Hatton saw the gap and a beautifully delivered left hook.
And then another right. Peacock is in trouble again here. He's getting caught by too many of these.
He looks unsteady on his feet, Ian.
Oh, wicked body shots, mixing up head and body. This is really impressive from Hatton. Doesn't he look the business? This is going to be stopped, I think. I don't think Peacock's going to be able to go on. He's up. He's on his feet. He's out. I don't think he wants to go on. It's going to be stopped. It is stopped. And Rikki Hаттton is Central Area champion. And there may be a few more titles still to come the way of this extremely talented youngster. We may have a star in this young fella.
Yes, on that sort of form, you would put money that this young man is going to go a long, long way. We saw him under a bit of pressure there. He coped with it fantastically well. He showed confidence, maturity and poise, and didn't he look good when he put his punches together? You know, really excellent work, excellent attacks, and finished the fight so well.
Well, it's not often that Glenn and I sit here absolutely raving about young fighters, but tonight we are, Glenn.
Yes, we are. Look at that left hook. He didn't know where he was. It was just a momentarily dropped his right hand. Hatton saw the gap. There it is. Beautifully delivered left hook. And he never really recovered from that punch.
Well, it's incredible to think, really, that Hatton, even now, has only had 31 professional rounds. Look at his accuracy here. Body, head, upstairs, downstairs. Oh, that punch there was a sickener. That left into the solar plexus.
Beautiful punch. Just turned round. Just found the angle, got into the right range with his feet, and then delivered a beautiful hook to the solar plexus. There, he just changes angle, comes round to the right, finds the right gap for the left hook to go right through the guard. And you can tell he's obviously in a lot of pain there, Peacock. Can't do anything, can't move the arms, because he knows there's a thunderous punch coming straight after he does.
Well, previous Young Boxers of the Year have included Randolph Turpin, Terry Downs, Howard Winston, Walter McGowan, Ken Buchanan, John Conte, Barry McGuigan, Nigel Benn, Nassim Hamed, Joe Calzaghe, Ryan Rhodes, and so on. I just wonder, is Rikki Hаттton, who must be favourite now to win the award for this year, is he in that kind of class? I think he probably is.
I think he certainly is. Definitely. He really looks good.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes, 21 seconds of round 2, and a devastating performance, the referee stops the contest. Tommy Peacock in no position to continue. The winner and a new light welterweight champion of the Central Area, Rikki Hаттton. Ladies and gentlemen, your appreciation, please, Tommy Peacock.
Well, that's how to arrive as a championship boxer, isn't it? And maybe Jason Matthews will hope to copy that tonight, because it's his moment of truth. A little further up the ladder, yes. He challenges for the Commonwealth middleweight title. It's our top of the bill tonight against St. Paul Silky Jones, a wily veteran who's been pulling one or two little tricks in the build-up. But Matthews will certainly hope to emulate Hatton's destructive finishing power tonight, and frankly, through his career to date, on the whole, he has been able to do that. But this tonight is the moment when it counts. Well, this is buzzing in here in Oldham tonight, with Hatton's success in particular. Ian Darke's going to have a word with this very exciting talent.
Well, Ricky, another win, and against an unbeaten fighter. That must have been your most satisfying night yet?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, my first title fight, and was in great shape, really trained hard for it. We had a good game plan. And Tommy Peacock, even though he's had the same amount of fights for me, he's a lot of experience there, been an amateur a long time, ABA champion, England international. In fact, he's the third ABA champion and fought as a pro, and they've all been like good pros. So I'm very happy with my performance.
Yeah, they've stepped you up in class here, and again, you've wiped the guy out.
Yeah, well, I think what it is, every time I step up in class, my trainer Billy, you know, he's always like, take your time, we've got loads of time, you're only 20, and he's 100% right with that. But I thrive about, you know, I want to go too fast sometimes. I thrive about, you know, the big fights, you know, the good opposition, you know, the better the opposition, it just brings the best out of me, like I showed tonight. Still things I did make mistakes and that, but I can't really complain about that. He's a quality opponent.
Now, you're a modest kind of guy. I mean, you keep your feet on the ground. You're a bit of a throwback like that. You don't like too much of the hype, and you know you've got to take it one step at a time. How good do you think you really are?
Well, I think I could be a world champion without, you know, any shadow of a doubt. I was a world champion amateur. Well, I got a bronze medal in the World Championships as an amateur, and you know, as an amateur, when really I've got my style is more of a professional nature. So, you know, I should really go, you know, one step better and get a world title, and I'm confident I can do that. I'm improving every day in the gym, not just with every fight, every day in the gym, working on different things. And my last fight, I was leaving my head in a bit too much and that, and we learned from it. You know, we were stepping around more this time, and you know, trying to keep the head away, you know, from cuts and what have you. But very happy with my performance tonight.
Your mum, I spoke to her last night. She said the whole family coming to watch you, and they're all a bag of nerves.
Yeah, they're all a bag of nerves. I think it's been really a football family. My dad played for Manchester City. My granddad was at Manchester City. But we don't know where the boxing's come from, so they're not really used to it. So they're like a bag of nerves. They say I never show it, but believe me, I do.
Let's move on to Billy Graham quickly. Billy, I know you've always felt that this guy really is the business. He looked it again here, didn't he? Sensational performance.
It's really special, and he's done me a personal favour tonight by winning the area title. That's the only belt. That's the last belt. We've won every belt you can get since we've been on our own. He just improves all the time. He's got a fantastic attitude. I just wish he had a twin.
I think the bigger the... Sorry.
I have to ask you one other thing, Billy. Story in the Manchester Evening News tonight that you've done a deal with Prince Nassim Hamed and his brothers. Now, what does that mean? Are you leaving Frank Warren?
No, Prince Nassim Hamed and his brothers are my sponsors. They sponsor me in Phoenix Camp. I'm looking forward to working with them. I've known them for quite a long time, and I'm excited about the future.
So you can work with them and Frank, can you?
You best ask the other people involved with that. You know what I mean? They're my sponsors, and